Alright, here we go. What's up there, guys? This is Cob, and welcome to the potentially much anticipated, actually, Legacy Server slash Nostalrius discussion video. In case you guys are unaware, which I'd be surprised if you are, but if you're unaware, check out Sodapoppin's channel. He uploaded a couple of videos, the World of Warcraft rant, and another video talking about just how the fucking petition for Legacy servers that I believe is it going to be sent to Blizzard? Is it sent to Blizzard already? I don't know if Blizzard are aware of this petition. They probably are. Petition is linked below in the description, actually. If you want to sign a petition in favor of Legacy servers, please go ahead and do that. It would be fucking awesome for everyone who's in favor. But in relation to Sodapoppin's latest video on the topic of Legacy servers and the petition, it might actually be going somewhere. Make sure to check out the video. But for now, yeah, I'm just going to talk about why I am in favor of Legacy servers. I suppose I should just point out as well before we really get into it. Obviously, private servers and the whole Nostalrius situation is just, of course, it's illegal. I don't appreciate people just coming forward with the argument that, oh, it's illegal, therefore end of story. That's just a load of snot. It's completely not relevant at all to the point that's being made, and with the whole Nostalrius incident, as I've come to call it. The bloody server, non-profit, unadvertised. You weren't even allowed to fucking stream that shit. Again, for obvious reasons. 800,000 registered accounts? 150,000 active users? I mean, 800k registered accounts, you're looking at almost a quarter of retail WoW's player base. Creating an account and testing out Nostalrius. At least testing it out. And 150,000 of those guys becoming active players. You've also got to bear in mind that there are only two realms. There's a PvE realm and a PvP realm. I mean, it's insane. Two realms? It blows my mind, and the whole you think you do but you don't argument now that Blizzard have been spouting for way too long. It's just been proven to be a load of shit. So, hell, let's move beyond the whole, oh, it's illegal, therefore, end of story crap, and just acknowledge that there is quite clearly a demand for Legacy servers, or at least for that old school vanilla experience to come back in some way. Let's get right into it. So why do I want Legacy servers? It really comes down to Worlds of Draenor is royally shit. Alright, let's just establish that. It's like, it's gotta be the worst expansion. It's got to be the worst expansion ever released. I mean, what's funny is, I remember in fucking Wrath of Lich King, the Cataclysm expansion was announced. Some of the lore guys, people who are really into the lore and the story, were a little bit like, ooh, this is a little bit weird, you know, going from Lich King to Deathwing. Well, I don't really care so much about that. Cataclysm landed. I remember people were so pissed off and so uninspired by Cataclysm. At least everyone who'd been playing for a while at that point and had gotten used to, you know, the vanilla TBC Wrath days. When Cataclysm landed, people just thought that that would be undisputedly the worst expansion the game has ever seen. We were not prepared for Worlds of Draenor, right? Cataclysm did a lot of fucking things wrong. It streamlined way too much shit. There were good things about Cataclysm. There were really good things about Cataclysm. But my god, man, did the streamlining and the freebies and all that kind of shit just... Man, it reached a new level in Cata, and it really started there, in my opinion at least. And it's just culminated to what we have now in Worlds of Draenor, where, I mean, gold is irrelevant, professions are fucking irrelevant, leveling is just a boring, zero deaths expedition, unless you're doing Iron Man. Leveling is just a Mongo fest, it's just a time sink, there's no challenge. You just kinda... I mean, it's like watching a fucking PowerPoint presentation. You know what I mean? You just kind of press a button. It's a quite nice zone. Press another button. You're in a fucking dungeon. Clear that dungeon. Press another button again. Queue up for another dungeon. You can level from fucking 15 to 100. Just sitting on your ass in the Orgrimmar Inn, or the, you know what I mean, next to the Undercity Bank. You don't even have to move anymore. Like, it's obscene. It's ridiculous how streamlined the game has become, and so much of what gave the game character. Like, holy crap, man. Remember fucking leveling professions back in the days? Man, I remember in TBC, I leveled tailoring, and I tried and failed miserably to level enchanting, because that shit was hard back then. Leveled tailoring, almost to max level on my warlock, and I remember having to craft shit like bags and sell bags in the auction house, just to be able to afford my epic riding skill. I still didn't have epic riding by the time I dinged 70. Did I? I think I got it like at level 67 or something. But the flying skill, oh man, I need to be like selling bags in the auction house, and then I started leveling an alt mage, and I like crafted gear with my tailoring and sent that to my mage, and oh man, you know, it was just engaging, and it was fucking challenging on a whole other level. It just felt real, and I'm just rambling now, but whatever, you know what I mean? You look at Wards of Draenor now, you don't have any of that kind of crap, man. You make a new level 1 dude if you don't just fucking buy one of the bastards off the store. You make a new level 1 dude. First thing you do, open your collections tab. Heirlooms. Whack 'em on. 2 hours later you're level fucking 58 or something. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I'm talking about. 0 deaths, you've just mongoed your way through dungeons. Fucking level 100 in no time. All these XP flasks and all this, you get to 100. It's so fucking piss easy now. And in fact, professions, even the professions that are still kind of difficult to level, are useless. They're useless. They're just like a bit of fun. They're just like a mini game. They're like a selfie camera, you know? God, they're not as bad as a selfie camera, but they're irrelevant. You don't make any money with them anymore. You don't help out guildmates with professions anymore. Maybe you do, but if you do, you're a bloody minority. I'll tell you that for free. But whatever, you know. Actually, I could talk about fucking what's wrong with Wards of Draenor in the current game all bloody day. Let's talk about what was right with, with Nostalrius, with the vanilla experience. I'd say TBC was an extension of vanilla. I could talk about TBC. In fact, I will talk about TBC because they included arenas as well. I'd still choose vanilla over the current game, don't get me wrong. TBC, those where it's at for me. So why do I want legacy savers? Why do I want the vanilla / TBC experience again? Because you are rewarded for struggle, man. My god, you used to make a level 1 character. After 2 Shadow Bolts as a Warlock, you were You had to sit your ass down for a drink or get meleeing with your dagger, you know what I mean? It was just hard. It was just hard, alright? Professions were hard. You were broke as hell all the time. You had no friggin' gold. Man, you had to go to the trainer to learn new skills. I remember just not learning Curse of Tongues and Curse of Weakness, among some other things, as a Warlock, because I just couldn't afford that shit, man. I didn't have the kind of gold to be skilling up Curse of Weakness and all that useless crap. No, man, you had to be so careful with your gold. You learned riding at like level 40. Holy fuck, man, did you appreciate that crap when you eventually learned the skill at level 48, because you did not have the gold at level 40 to learn the basic riding skill. That just never happened, man. You'd ding level 40, you'd be like, yeah, I can learn riding. Then you'd look at your bag, realize that the skill cost like 90 gold, and you had like fucking 8 gold in your bag. It was like, fuck. What did you need to do? You need to bloody level professions, man. Get up off your ass, get some mining done, get some skinning done, or whatever profession you chose to pick up. And you had to just make that gold as you leveled, you know? And when you eventually got that mount, like, oh my god, the epic mount quest for Warlock as well at level 60. Holy shit, that took me fucking months. That took me actual months. I could have put more time in and got it done quicker. But you know what? I was enjoying the struggle. Because when I eventually got that mount, it just blew my mind. It felt so sick. And that's basically the story of what World of Warcraft used to be like. It used to be this... more than a game. It used to be a world where you only fucking got anywhere if you actually put the goddamn effort in. Not this world of freebie craft. Not world of garrison craft. You know, cash shop craft, or whatever the hell you want to call it now. I mean, something as simple as leveling. Just the leveling experience in and of itself. When you arrived at a new zone, and you'd been leveling in fucking Winter Spring for like 2 or 3 days, just to clear out all the bloody quests, because it took that long, and there's no heirlooms, and the quests were hard, and you were dying if you pulled to like 2 or 3 mobs. All that kind of shit. You finally arrived at the bloody Dark Portal. Or like, you know, some other epic milestone like that. Holy shit, man. That felt so epic. That felt so amazing. It's not like now where you bloody just, like you say, level with dungeon queues and all that kind of... You actually get out there, you see the world, you do quests against elite mobs, you have to group up with other people. The player turns out to be quite a cool guy. Add him to your friends list. You get a guild going. It just all adds up, alright? The harder the bloody game is, the more rewarding it is to see these epic sights when you get to new zones. The more rewarding it is when My god, you only see a blue item once every 6 or 7 levels, and you get that blue item, you cherish that blue item, man, because holy shit, you worked hard for that Whirlwind Axe. Level 30 warrior quest, man, for Berserker stance. Oh my god, you get the fucking Whirlwind Axe, you're using that axe for the next 20 levels, man. And just to echo what Soda said, actually, in his World of Warcraft rant video, rating requirement on PvP gear. Holy shit. When you were finally able to get your shit together enough to grind out, 1650 rating or however much it was for the chest or something like that, Because back then, like, 1900 rating was so fucking high, man. Like, people didn't know Life Arena. Well, some people did know Life Arena, but it wasn't as inflated back then as it is now. When you finally got a piece of gear that you'd been working towards all that time. And if you didn't get that piece of gear, you had nothing, man. Okay, you could buy some like honor gear, but it was inferior. It was by far inferior to the arena gear. So when you finally got that piece of that new season's gladiator gear, that just felt so sick. And it felt like you'd really earned something. Because like I say, man, you've been busting your ass in arena, just trying to improve, trying to become a better player, trying to keep a team together, You finally got that piece of gear. It felt so sick. And guess what? If you didn't get that piece of gear, you didn't bloody deserve it, did you? And if you didn't get that piece of arena gear, you'd be walking around in Orgrimmar, and you'd see some dude with a crowd of people around him sat on top of the Orgrimmar bank. Oh man, he'd only be wearing that piece of gear that you wanted. He'd have like the fucking, the latest season's gladiator weapons that required like 2k rating. He'd have the shoulders, they'd be all fucking badass looking, and oh my god. No transmog. Fuck transmog. Who wants transmog? When you've actually really earned, by the sweat of your brow, by the sweat of your gamer brow, when you've earned your gear like that, do you even want to use transmog? Do you even want to use transmog? I wouldn't use transmog. If they introduced transmog back then, no man, I would not have used fucking transmog. I'd want to show off when I get my shiny new piece of arena gear. But you'd all see that dude in Orgrimmar, wearing the set that you wanted. He'd have a crowd of dudes around him. You'd be one of the dudes in the crowd. Inspecting him, guess what you'd be doing? Control left click on each of his items. That's what my character would look like in that gear. You know what I mean? And I fucking miss that so much. I miss that so much. Now what do we got? Dog ran. You queue fucking trash ran for about, how long you're in there? Hour and a half, 2 hours if your team's winning. You get your free epic. Your welfare epic. Like a spoiled fucking kid, you get your free epic, and you go on about your day. It's not an epic item. It's not a bloody epic item, is it? There's nothing epic about it. You go in there, you just face roll, AFK at the back, knob in one hand, beggar in the other, or whatever, You can change the bag around for food of your choice. Story's still the same. It's ridiculously easy now to get the epic items to the point where purples aren't even epic anymore. So I suppose long story short, I don't want to ramble on for too long. There's no struggle anymore, man. There's no struggle anymore. Imagine playing a Dark Souls game where there are just no bosses. All the mobs just have one basic animation. You take like 80% less damage from all sources. There are no ambushes. There are no mimics. There are no fucking traps of any kind. You just walk through Dark Souls and look at all the zones and loot equipment and put it on your character. You see how that just destroys the game? That's what happened to World of Warcraft. It's exactly that's what happened to World of Warcraft. The struggle was removed. All of these epic zones that you see don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. You didn't earn your way into these zones. You didn't fucking I hope people get what I'm saying. The struggle is what makes it worthwhile. And the current game just fucking has no struggle unless you're literally just aiming to be rank 1 in arena or like world first to clear a mythic raid or some PvE, whatever PvEs do these days. I don't know them. I haven't touched raiding since Karazhan, and I was in there for about half an hour. I had a BRB for my tea, went out, had some food, came back, I'd been kicked. That was the last time I ever raided. Before Nostalrius was a thing, people were able to say, oh, it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia talking. You really do think you do, but you don't. You really don't want to go back there. The game wasn't very good in vanilla. All the rest of it, rose-tinted goggles. It's all a load of shit. I know people on fucking Nostalrius with 30 or more, 30 plus days played time on their main characters in Nostalrius. I know people with multiple level 60s, and leveling to 60 back then, like I say, was not fucking easy, man. It took, weeks, if not months. Wasn't fucking easy, and yet people put so much time in Nostalrius, and like I say, it's so sad that it's gone down. It was very heavy-handed of Blizzard, and I hope that they're feeling the pressure. I hope they're feeling the pressure, man. I hope that they know that they fucked up. They could have just hired the Nostalrius team. They could have just hired half of the Nostalrius team. Made something work. All this uproar probably wouldn't have happened. But here it is, man. It's not going anywhere. At least not anytime soon. And yeah, whatever. I'm just rambling on now. Those are all my opinions on it. Just to counteract one point that some people make as well. Some people say that Blizzard won't make legacy servers because they won't make money from it. They obviously will. They could just charge an extra $10 onto the subscription cost for access to the legacy servers. It's really not rocket science how they can make a lot of fucking money from it. Even if only 20% of the player base plays it. That's still like, what, 800,000 people? You know what I mean? That's a lot of bills, man. That's a lot of cash coming in, some people say that, they won't do it because some people might just play legacy servers and just ignore the new expansions. Well, if Blizzard are actually afraid that, an 11-year-old version of the game is going to outperform their modern take on the game, an 11-year-old version of the game beating a modern expansion, beating it so badly that people just won't play it, Blizzard should be fucking ashamed of themselves if they're actually afraid of that happening. Like, come on now. They can't actually be seriously afraid of that, and if they are, they should be ashamed that they're not making fucking better expansions, as far as I'm concerned. There it is. Thanks for watching, guys. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing. Sign the petition if you're in favour. If you're not, it's alright. Fair enough. I'm sure there's going to be a shit storm in the comments. There's always going to be people who disagree on this kind of stuff. I kind of don't understand people disagreeing on it. If you're going to argue against legacy servers, you're arguing against something that won't affect you, because you won't be playing them. But you're arguing against it to cancel out other people's, wishes of having more fun. It's a little bit bizarre. But there it is. Whatever. It's rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. Support the petition. I'm going to catch up with you guys.